What would you do if you found out you have less than a month to live?
Well, I'm sure a disciplined woman such as yourself has a very useful purpose for this money.
I'm just gonna blow it.
Georgia Byrd has been a shy, play-it-safe kind of woman her whole life. She was always careful with relationships, careful with calories, and careful with money. Well, usually. She has been sorta kinda flirting with Sean for a while. He's a fellow employee at the store, but never gets up the nerve to do anything real about it. But before you start thinking Georgia is all cookware and church choir, just know that Georgia's imagination is way more salacious than her outward appearance. In any case, she is hard at work when she accidentally hits her head on an open cabinet. Oof, been there. After getting an MRI, she's told by the doctor that she has a rare disease that caused fatal brain tumors and only has a few weeks to live. Georgia takes this news very well. She decides to throw caution to the wind. Georgia quits her job in retail, cashes out all her savings and bonds, and books a flight to Karlovy Vary. Now, the movie lays down this name as though we're all supposed to know where that is. But before anyone starts feeling insecure about not knowing, don't worry. I had to look it up too, and I can tell you that Karlovy Vary is located in the Czech Republic, nestled in the middle of Europe, and bordered by Germany, Poland, Slovakia, and Austria. You may be more familiar with the name Prague, so just know that Karlovy Vary is a straight shot to the west of that, about 80 miles. After arriving by helicopter at the Grand Hotel Pup,
Come on, y'all really say it like that? Poop, poop, poop.
Georgia settles in and starts enjoying life to the max, like she's never done before. She's literally living life like there's no tomorrow. She takes the presidential suite, she buys new clothes, she gets all the spa treatments, and she orders every dish on the hotel's menu. That dinner proves to be very important because, since she's a big fan of Chef Didier and she wants to sample all his fine dishes of the day,
Chef Didier never creates the same menu twice.
she orders one of everything on the menu without asking for any changes or substitutions. This makes a big impression on the chef since he tends to get aggravated by people asking for changes to his food. They become quick friends, bonding over their love of food and cooking. This catches the attention and jealousy of Matthew Cragen, who is also staying at the hotel and is pursuing a merger that is vital to the survival of his business. He also happens to be the owner of the retail store chain of which Georgia, until very recently, was an employee. Cragen's companions are more and more impressed with Georgia since she seems so vivacious, fearless, and seemingly has money to burn. At the same time, they are less and less impressed by Matthew Cragen, and this fires up a jealousy in Matthew to the extent that when Georgia says she's going to go base jumping, he insists that he has to do it too. He chickens out,
Can it be not connected to rigging?
but the fact that he was leaning over the edge of that dam shows just how threatened and competitive he was feeling. Georgia also caught Cragen and his assistant making out in the elevator, and since he's a married man, this also caused him to feel shame and embarrassment when he was around her. So now she's enemy number one. In the end, and with the help of a shameless hotel employee that looks through Georgia's stuff, Matthew finds out that Georgia was recently an employee of his, and that she is not, in fact, a wealthy and powerful businesswoman. In his mind, that means she is inferior and has no right to judge him, so he exposes her secret to everyone at New Year's dinner.
Attention, Cragen shoppers, imposter. Aisle 3.
Georgia explains the situation with her mortality, much to Cragen's chagrin and dismay, because suddenly his gotcha moment is no longer a victory, but his final defeat, as the whole group realizes just how petty and shallow he really is. They all leave him there alone, and he is left with the knowledge that both his business and his personal life are doomed. Georgia tries to leave town, but an avalanche has blocked the road to the airport, so she must return to the hotel, where she is in for another surprise. Cragen has gotten himself drunk and is sitting out on one of the hotel's highest ledges, thinking about jumping. This moment is literally the moment of all moments, because three things happen. Sean shows up and confesses his love for Georgia, Georgia talks Matthew out of ending himself, and Georgia is informed that a fax came in from her doctor, explaining that she was misdiagnosed and is not in fact going to die after all. Phew, that's a lot to pin on one scene, but I think they pulled it off beautifully. Georgia marries Sean and they start up their own restaurant, and they live happily ever after. Georgia Byrd's experience taught her, and all of us, that life is short, so we must make the most of it, pay less attention to our fears, and truly value the people in our lives that we love. Here are some of my favorite things in Last Holiday, and some details you may have missed. The way they show how nervous and careful Georgia is. She uses coupons at the store, walks around when she owns a car, only pours a tiny bit of wine into the sauce instead of adding a big splash like her favorite chef on TV, and then she only eats lean cuisine instead of eating her own delicious food. It's a little obvious that LL Cool J is not an experienced actor at this point, but he and Queen Latifah are still cute together, and it works. There's a subtle foreshadowing when Georgia closes the cabinet door during her sales demonstration and it slowly swings open. And after that, if you are very carefully watching, you'll see that it always opens a little more on its own, very slowly. Sean breathing overly hard as he struggles to carry Georgia to the clinic. The forehead on that HMO administrator. Sorry, but they could have done the movie skiing scene on that white slope. Smashing the boss's cell phone with her shoe. This lady in white starts doing the chicken dance in the middle of Georgia's spontaneous choir performance. Also, everybody just kind of forgets that Georgia is there, even though she was the one that started the song. The guy sitting behind Georgia on the plane is chuckling while she complains. Oh, so this is what Gus Fring was doing before he made blue meth with Walter White. The bellboy's hair makes him look like a neutered version of Wolverine. Georgia stretches this underwear out to show the sales clerk her size. The waiter's face after Georgia says she wants to try everything on the menu and says,
Tout. All.
Chef Didier surprises Georgia by oinking in public. Her little bummy is hanging out when she runs to the bathroom in the middle of a spa wrap. Why does Gunther show up in her room while Georgia is in bed? Georgia realizes that Gunther is a critical sourpuss, so she offers to pay for her colon irrigation treatment. While I love how Georgia defended Brigitte to Miss Burns, I also remember how Georgia beat her earlier with a branch. I combed through the movie and realized that they never gave Miss Burns a first name. Let me know in the comments if I missed it, and which scene has it. Sean can see Georgia's hibachi grill inside the house and her larger grill outside the house, both of which he sold to her. It's great when movie makers pay attention to details like this. Everyone decides to sit with Georgia at dinner, and when Cragen finally joins them, for some inconsiderate reason, he pushes his chair between the only couple in the group. Matthew glares at the congressman when he tells Georgia to call him by his first name, Bob. Klaus's braces and how he pronounces
3, 2, 1.
this line after Gunther declares Georgia to be a fraud.
Look what eating sauerkraut has done to your heart, Roland Gunther.
And my favorite quote of the whole show.
You and I, we know the secret of life.
Well, what is that?
The secret of life is butter.
Butter.
While Gunther is snooping through Georgia's things, we can see Georgia on the cover of a ski magazine. When Gunther finally turns a corner and starts acting nice, Georgia asks,
Why are you being so nice to me?
to which Gunther responds,
Yeah, I know. I'm a bitch. At least that's what people tell me.
Sean has to walk over a snowy mountain to get to Georgia's hotel because of the avalanche. And you know, sometimes simple lines land best.
I hate snow. Snow sucks.
DDA finds out that Georgia is going to die and blames his crying on the onions.
The onions, they make me cry.
The spinning hubcaps on this car. I had the same thought right before Miss Burns said,
Matthew, come back in here. You know you're not going to jump. You couldn't even jump off the dam.
see if you can figure out why this interaction between the bellboy and the newly arrived Sean at the hotel is hilarious.
You are here to see Miss Byrd.
Yeah, how'd you know?
Lucky guess.
Gunther's mispronunciation of CAT scan when she delivers the news that Georgia isn't going to die after all.
You were misdiagnosed due to a faulty dog scan.
In Georgia's new restaurant, Chef Didier first says, "Don't ask me, I'm on vacation," then promptly volunteers to finish up everything being cooked. You can actually see the fear and discomfort in LL Cool J's eyes after he does the double kiss thing with Chef Didier. The lesson of the whole movie is delivered here.
Next time, we'll do things different. We will laugh more. We'll love more. We'll see the world. We just won't be so afraid.
To finish, it should be stated that in order to live life to the fullest, I do not recommend people sell all their possessions and blow it all on vacations or clothes or food. You won't be very happy if you live life to the fullest today, only to end up sleeping on a park bench tomorrow.